All right. We're here once again from Fight Club OC for this historic broadcast of Seniesa Estrada versus Maria Andaverde in her pro debut. Estrada is 4-0-1. We're seeing her come out. We'd like to thank the people tuning in at home. They have Big John as their referee, and a lot of people are really high on Seniesa Estrada, and with good reason. You know, she first came to the attention of Roy Engelbrecht at the Gennady Golovkin Willie Monroe bout in LA, and they saw her fight there, and it became something like, hey, you know, we wanna see this person fight more, and one thing led to another, and now she's part of the team and fighting, and looks to have a really good career ahead of her. Please forgive me right now as I pull up my notes on Miss Estrada and Miss Andaverde. Seniesa Estrada has a victory over Carly Bagby. I think that's her name. I apologize to Carla if I'm saying it wrong. On the Gennady Golovkin undercard, and 2 victories over Blanca Romero. And I gotta say this, and I could be wrong, I think Seniesa Estrada is a pretty tough assignment for Maria Andaverde's first fight, but you never know. These 2 women stare down now, face off. Got a very capable ref in there, Big John. And here we go. You know, I think that's the one thing that really caught the attention of a lot of people on the Gennady Golovkin undercard was just Estrada's style, her stance, the way she sort of attacks and always seems ready to pounce on her opponent. Very, very quick, cat-like reflexes as she moves forward. Already she's sizing up her opponent. And one can sort of see in Maria Andaverde's eyes just kind of taking in the opponent in front of her, sizing her up, trying to figure out, you know, okay, how can she stop this person who, while not a lot more fights, has 4 more than she does, especially at the pro level. And as many people will tell you, that's a different ball game when you're doing it, you know, at the amateur level. Although both are extremely, extremely important. These 2 ladies sizing each other up. Estrada fights with a lot of anticipation. Sort of like saying, as if she's saying, with her punches and her stance, anything could happen. And she wants to be ready for it. And Andaverde is in the unenviable position of trying to counter this. And the tough part for Andaverde is Estrada's giving her so many different angles. People are already calling for a knockout. And it's not like one can blame them. Everyone likes knockouts, but it doesn't always work that way in boxing. We don't always get what we want. But overall, for her 5th pro contest, Estrada really dominated that round. But for all we know, Maria Andaverde is going to come out this next round, and maybe she'll have this figured out a little bit. There's always that possibility. All right, here we move into the second round. It's interesting the way Estrada came out. Just threw like 3 really quick piston-like jabs. In some way, seeming to test and set up her opponent. It'll be interesting to see when she gets into longer fights how Estrada comes out. But she has a real sneaky hook with that left hand, and she just landed on Andaverde. Oh, right there. And as she's starting to open up more, Andaverde's going to have to start looking for some answers here, being able to answer back, because this is only a 4-round fight. And if she doesn't start coming up with some answers soon, the fight's going to be over. And it'll be a loss for her pro debut. Estrada right now is measuring. Sort of keeping Andaverde wherever she wants her in the ring. These two are, as you can see, it's reaching a point for Estrada where it's almost becoming target practice. She's sizing her up, she's seeing the opportunities, and she's taking them. And this is something clearly yet another round for Estrada. One sort of gets the impression, I'm joined here by my crack photographer, Damian James, that Andaverde is just kind of trying to figure out what she has in front of her.
Yeah, she's buying her time, but in a 4-round fight, you don't have an opportunity to give up too many rounds, so she needs to really get busy here. Estrada's been dominating so far with her speed, controlling the ring, cutting off the ring very well.
Well, one thing I'm noticing also about Estrada is she uses that pesky left jab as a hook, and it's almost like she's not even giving Andaverde any time to even get going.
Yeah, that's exactly what I see. Andaverde's kind of laying back against the ropes, just kind of waiting, and you don't have time for a feeling out process in a 4-round fight. We only got 2 to go.
Thank you very much, crack photographer Damian James. We come out now for the 3rd round. Estrada again, measuring with that jab. Andaverde's started throwing a little bit more. One wonders and hopes that she'll keep that up. You know, it's interesting with the way these 2 ladies are moving in the ring. They haven't had a clash of heads. But so far, none of that. But, there's a tentativeness on Andaverde's part. And right now, she's getting tagged. Estrada's just on top of her. And Estrada's fighting with enough distance between their punches that Andaverde is having trouble landing. And Andaverde seems to be hurt here. You can hear the thudding in these punches. Estrada's almost landing at will now. Estrada's just jumping on her. And Andaverde doesn't just seem to have answers for this. And you can tell by the way they carry themselves, by Andaverde's upright stance and Estrada sort of in that attack mode. Like I said, this is a tough assignment for a pro debut. Well, I don't think you have to work in Scotland Yard to figure out who won that fight. What do you say, Damien?
Man, I give Andaverde a lot of credit. She actually stayed in the pocket and stood toe-to-toe with Estrada that round, but she paid a hefty price. She took a lot of shots. Major round, dominating round for Estrada.
Yeah, it almost reached a point where Estrada was hitting her at will.
Yeah, definitely, but you know, you gotta fight in there. The first 2 rounds, Andaverde cruised. She definitely gave those away. She stood in, she took a beating. Let's see what happens in round 4.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, stranger things have happened. Thank you, Damien. Right now they're having a meeting in the corner of Andaverde, making sure she's fit to come out for the 4th round. It seems like they're going to let her. So she knows she needs to make something happen. And it's Estrada's job not to let her. Well, you know, Andaverde landed, it seemed like, but then she also got landed on herself. You know, you just have to give these fighters in general a lot of credit. It really is. This is really a sweet science. There's things happening in that ring that to the casual fan, they don't really understand what's happening. But you know, Andaverde's got to be in some kind of shape, some kind of conditioning to withstand what Estrada's putting on her. But Estrada so far has just had her way. Really kind of loading up on her punches, but in a very positive way. And she has enough distance between her punches that when Andaverde tries to land, she just can't do it. Like there. Those punches didn't even come close to hitting Estrada. And Estrada, meanwhile, is getting set into another position, and she's hitting Andaverde. We'd like to welcome Valentin Romero 8 for joining us on this historic night at Fight Club OC. Estrada has her hurt. Oh, in the closing seconds of this round, but it looks like Jack Reese is taking a close look, but it looks like Andaverde is going to make it out of this round. What a chin on Andaverde. Wow. Wow. All right. You know, this is one of those nights where, hey, Andaverde may have lost Mr. Crack Photographer Damian James, or should I say Gringo with a green bag, whatever you call yourself. But man, she probably gained a lot of fans in the process.
Well, she's got a heck of a chin, man. Evidence in that last round. Took a beating in the corner, standing on her feet. I don't think this fight would have gone further had it win another round. They probably would have stopped it. Dominant performance by Estrada. She's the real deal. She is super bad. Can't wait to see her again.
Yeah, Estrada will be back. One thing we know for sure, Estrada will be back. I'm going to go up to the ring apron for the final decision. Oh, look at that, a classic Fight Club OC thing, people throwing money into the ring. If you're wondering about the sparsity of it, this is a historic 15-round bout, 15-fight card tonight. You're getting fighters from the Al Heyman camp, the Rock Nation camp, the De La Hoya camp, and there's even some fighters from Russia on this card. What other promoter can bring all those different camps together for one historic night? We got to give Roy Engelbrecht a lot of credit. Someone's throwing money. We got to get that dollar up here. People are showering them with money. It was a very good fight. Estrada, I think, obviously clearly dominated the fight, but man, Maria Andaverde sure has one heck of a chin. Well, no surprise to anyone. Seniesa Estrada winning. No surprise to anyone at Fight Club OC, but man, let's give it to Maria Andaverde for putting on one heck of a performance. Thank you very much. We'll be back with more boxing a little bit later.